Oh, let's see. Torque the bolts to 100 inch-pounds on the valve body. Okay? So remember we did our fitment test, so we know the valve body will fit right in there. And that was dependent on the position of the shaft so that the park rod could get all the way in there and engage the parking mechanism so it all fits together. We have our accumulator piston and spring here, so we don't have to worry about that. Everything is together. Let's go ahead and put in the valve body. We did our, okay, so we're good to go here. Let me clean that up, that got a little gunk on it. I'm not exercising the greatest cleanliness practices here. Okay, so here comes the valve body. Just put it into place there. And of course it's being sticky again, isn't it? There we go. Trying to be as gentle as I can with it. Here we go, and the valve body is in place. That's pretty neat. Okay, let me get the bolts for it. Which I believe are all right here. Now, what's important here is that some of these bolts have different lengths. So we want to make sure we put the right bolts in the right places. So I'm just going to start putting these in. See, obviously, both of these bolts don't go there because this one's a lot longer than this one. I think that's the proper bolt for this, but we're just going to put them in for now, just to be sure. I mean, that's obviously not right. So we'll put that one in. That one looks about right. That one looks, well, still not good yet. Maybe over here. Yeah, that looks better. And then maybe that guy there. This guy over here. What's critical here is what's called the reach of the bolt, or the, I guess, what would be a better way to say that? The clamping ability of the bolt? I don't know. We want to make sure that the bolt is in the right place. That's the idea. And really the best way to tell that is to put the bolts in and make sure they all stick out by the same amount. Okay? So I'm just eyeballing some stuff here, so that's obviously not right. So those two bolts are the same length. I don't like the way this looks either. But I'm not 100% certain where that bolt would go. Where else would that bolt go? That's obviously not right. So move that over there. That looks much better. Okay. So we want, this bolt looks like it's sticking out too far. That looks a lot better. That bolt looks like, okay, so now, I mean, I've just got them threaded in by 1 or 2 threads. They all look like they're sticking out by roughly the same amount. That's how we know we got all the bolts in the right position. But I already forgot my torque value. 100 inch-pounds, that's right. So we're going to take our socket. That just happens to be the right one. I'm going to start with my little ratchet wrench here. And then I'm going to torque these. I don't torque. Every fastener in this thing has a torque value. I don't torque everything. There's actually a lot that I don't torque. And technically I should, but I don't. Why do I torque some stuff and not others? Well, experience. Experience tells me it's not totally necessary. I really should. I shouldn't be doing this without doing it right. But anyway, whatever. So we're going to dial in 100 inch-pounds on my little wrench here. And we're going to start tightening. Start here. There's 100 inch-pounds. Going to kind of go in a more or less crisscross pattern. And if I recall, there are 11 bolts. I really thought there were 11 in there. But I have been wrong in the past. Well, it's like I was wrong again. Okay, so there's 10, not 11. This is one of the thicker reusable gaskets. It's reusable. Okay. Almost forgot. This sensor that we took out earlier, I believe is a gear position sensor, goes in now. Okay. I'll make sure I'm doing this right. Just pushes straight in. And we have these little torque screws. So, okay, just as a quick recap, what we've done, we've disassembled the trans starting from this end, from the bell housing end. We took out the forward and direct clutches in the main section, and all the planetary gear housing. We flipped the transmission over, took off the overdrive section, took out the forward and direct clutches in the overdrive section. Had some confusion about which plates are in there. For this engine, it's 5 plates and 5 steels, 5 friction plates and 5 steel plates. And we replaced all the lip seals and ring seals and O-rings and stuff that I could find in there. We replaced the manual valve in the valve body. We replaced the the overdrive and torque converter clutch solenoids right here, because this plastic housing out here got brittle and cracked. There was nothing wrong with it except upon disassembly it broke, so I had to replace that because of this housing over here. We also replaced the there's a spring under here that we replaced. Let's see, we replaced the governor pressure solenoid and the governor pressure sensor. I don't know exactly what those things are for. I've just heard a lot of people saying you have to replace those. By the way, we replaced this manual valve in here because this transmission, when it's just sitting there in park, idling in park, it's not pumping. So if you have a dry transmission, if you've been letting it sit for a while, you can sit there and burn up your transmission just idling. And that can do damage. It starts pumping in, well, I know it pumps in neutral, and it probably pumps in reverse also, I would assume so. Just in park, it doesn't pump in stock configuration. This new valve we put in there, I just found out, is modified slightly to allow the pump to pump in park. So that's why we replaced that valve. I was a little bit confused as to why we replaced that thing. So that's pretty much it. The last thing we're going to do, I'm actually going to put a drain valve in, and the kind of drain valve I'm going to put in is one of these. It's a part that it comes with 2 gaskets, and you drill a hole through the pan. Drill a hole big enough for this through the pan, put that in, put the gasket on, and put the nut on the inside and torque the hell out of it so it stays. And I think I'm going to put some thread locker on there. And the inside of this bolt, I guess, is hollow. So then this becomes your drain bolt. Kind of handy, kind of neat. And I think what I'm going to do, I have to find a place, I have to decide on a place to put it. I don't hear the radio in the baby's room. Maybe just had a power outage. There it goes. Have to figure out a place to put it. The dipstick comes in here. I'm tempted to put the drain plug in this area because it's going to be clear of this band being actuated, and there's nothing actually happening right here. So let's see what the pan looks like. Just had to drain it out a little bit. So here's the pan. Nice and clean. Okay. And this pan is going to sit up like that. Okay. So if I put this drain plug, actually it looks like I can put it just about anywhere. There's plenty of clearance. We almost forgot one thing, the filter. Okay, now this may change how we feel about the drain plug. Okay, so now my location is not so good. My previous location is not so good. So where should I put it? Maybe in this area. There's no movement there. I sure would like to put it, actually, I think, this is one of those things you don't want to make a mistake on, you know? The original location might be best, because that's not going to interfere a whole lot. No, you know what, I think right there is probably going to be the best spot for it. She's awake again, folks. Yeah, we're going to put the drain plug, or actually, that's kind of a flat surface. We'll put it right there. We're going to put the drain plug right there. Okay, so I've got my drain plug in place. Got some thread locker on there. That looks like a good location for it. And here are a couple of my bolts. I'm just going to... How about a gasket? You think that would help? Yikes. Let's see, how does this go on here? Something like that. Boy, that little girl just doesn't want to sleep today. Alright, so we'll just get these started. Get a couple of these in here. I'm not going to film the rest of this because there's really nothing else to film. On my shifter arm I have a new shifter lever that just goes on the arm. Pretty simple. And the bolt will get tightened. And I can just do that while I'm sitting here. Right here, you little girl. Oh boy. Alright. Well, this is all, it's not quite tight, is it? Let me finish this. Get it on there square. There's a little flat spot on that shaft so you know you're on there correctly. There we go. Okay. Get a couple of these started. I know, I hear you. I am really playing with fire here. Okay, time for me to stop being mechanic and start being daddy, right? Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hasta luego. Email me if you have any questions. Good luck.